Hey you guys, it's Anthony again with Mini Workout Series 2020. We are on video 2 for YouTube and obviously week 2 for the Mini Workout Series. This week we're going to have incline push-up, we're going to have crunches, and we're going to have glute bridges. So now, for the incline push-up to start off, we're going to be working the front delt, the chest, and the tricep. Any pressing movement, the tricep is always an aid. Oh, keep that in mind. And we'll talk about that as we go on. But for now, movement, right? Now, an incline push-up, we're going to go ahead. Think about keeping the butt squeezed. It'll help to aid keep your legs straight, right? Keep the core tight. It'll help to also aid to not let your back flare out or be, you just don't want to be here. This doesn't look very good or comfortable, correct? So keep our butt squeezed, keep the core tight. Same thing. So now as you guys can see, I'm going down to where my chest touches and come right back up. So now, for all of us that maybe can't have that flexibility or mobility in our shoulder, or just not that strong yet, maybe you come to where your elbow gets to 90 degrees, come right back up. That's one way you can make this easier, or make a push-up easier, is to not go as far down. Now, I will say, I prefer for you guys to go all the way down. What I'd prefer you guys to do, if you couldn't go all the way down, is to scale this back to where you go a little bit higher. So, what do I mean by that? Now, this isn't that great of a situation to use as an example, but as you can see, the back of this is already higher, right? But same concept. It's gonna be easier for me now. It's higher than this one is, but now, once again, same thing. Coming down, touch the chest, come right back up. As you can see, it's not as hard for me because I'm on a higher incline. So just like the tall plank, you guys, what would probably be the next suggestion? Let's think about it. The next scale option you would use would be to do it against the wall. It's gonna look kind of funky. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys can't really see. But same thing just like with the tall plank, hands on the wall. If I'm here doing a push-up, unless I'm pretty deconditioned, it's gonna be kind of hard to feel anything or feel any real kind of muscle work in a wall push-up. But of course, come back just a little bit. It's gonna be kind of weird. Same thing. Maybe you kiss the wall, come right back up. But I would advise just to have a higher table, a higher chair. If you live in an apartment complex and you have the little bar section kind of area, you can do it in the kitchen on the counter. You know, that's where your hands would go, obviously. Much easier as a scaled version for this. Biggest things here to also think about, as always, really focus on what you're feeling. Like I said, we're working the tricep, the chest, and the shoulder. So we want to make sure we're feeling those muscles activate. When we're holding, you're probably going to feel a little bit more delt, maybe a little bit more chest, possibly. But as you go down and come up, we're most likely going to feel more tricep and chest as we work and do the movement. So now for the next one, let's go to crunches. As most of you know what a crunch is. Most of us have done crunches, whether it was PE or some quick, for the older generation, like, the Tybo stuff you used to have, you probably did a crunch there or some kind of crunch there. Either way, you've probably seen a crunch before. So, keep it simple. We're gonna have the feet close to the butt. That's just what I prefer for me, right? The only goal is the back is the majority of the back is staying on the floor, the butt's staying on the floor, the feet are staying on the floor. The only thing that's coming off of the floor is our shoulders and our head. That's it. The upper back, shoulders, and head. So to do the crunch, we're here. You guys might not be able to tell, but essentially, if you were here, you can probably slide your hand under my upper shoulder. That's the only thing that's coming off the ground, for the most part. Now, as we're holding your head, do what's comfortable. If you don't want to hold it, that's fine. A little bit more neck work, whatever. It's whatever you prefer, right? Now, the muscle we're working, rectus abdominis, the core, your abs, this thing right here, right? Now, always remember, you guys, for those of us that want abs, most of us want abs, a flat stomach at least, right? Something to see. Always keep in mind, at core, you can do all the core work in the world. You might have the most defined abs because of all the core work that you do. But guess what? You can have the most defined abs and still have a pretty decent amount of layer of fat over those abs, so you can't see them. Get your body fat down, eating right, and staying consistent with your moving. And most likely, you get your body fat low enough to where you'll always see your abs. You don't have to work abs a lot. And you can get deep into that, but essentially just know that if you have a lean body mass, your abs will always show. But if you want them to look better because if they already show, then you should work them. But obviously, it's also good just to have good core strength. But that's more about stability. Whole nother conversation. So let's go back to for the last one, you guys. We're going to do the glute bridge, okay? Same position as the crunch for the most part, and this is why. All right. I want to keep my feet near my butt because in the glute bridge, we're working the glutes. We're just squeezing the butt. That's not why. But the reason why I believe this is because your hamstrings help in hip extension the straighter that your legs are. Okay? So what does that mean? That means that, as an example, if I was to do like a kickback, a donkey kickback, right? If I'm doing this, I'm working my glute, right? Either way, I'm working my glute. But when the leg is straighter, the hamstring happens to aid more. So now in a bridge, let's say our legs were basically straight. Right now, I'm feeling all hamstrings. I don't feel no glutes working. Okay, come closer. I feel more glute. I still kind of feel hamstring, but it's not that serious. It's not as bad as having straight legs. All right. So now, what I'm asking to do, feet are close to the butt. We're just coming up and we're just squeezing and holding the butt. For this movement, you guys, it'll be static. Keep in mind, okay? We're not trying to shoot or curl or back to push through the ceiling. It used to be a good cue. I used to use that same cue and say push your hips through the ceiling, right? We don't want to work our lower back here. We're really just focusing on the glutes. So my advice is just squeeze your butt as much as possible and come off the ground. If it looks like this and you're holding, that's fine. If you squeeze it harder and it comes up a little bit more, that's okay. But we're not trying to shoot through and use our erectors to push ourselves or push our hips through. We're just squeezing our butt and staying relaxed. As you can see, primarily knee to the shoulders, about straight, just squeezing the butt. Core can be tight if you wanted to, but it's not a big deal. And beyond that, keeping the head on the ground, keeping the back flat, squeezing at the butt, not shooting through the ceiling. It's easy. It's the easiest thing I can tell you guys for a glute bridge. All right, you guys, and also for the glute bridges. Now, there's not really I can't really tell you there's a real good scale here for a glute bridge, except for maybe using a machine and something instead. Or instead of doing the hold, maybe just do the movement. You would come down, squeeze the butt, come down, squeeze the butt. So you'd be doing glute bridges, not just a glute bridge hold. But I would say take it and see how you feel by doing the glute bridge hold alone. And if that feels like that's the easier option than to do glute bridges, which most likely it's about the same, then I would suggest to do that. But now this is the thing, you guys. I forgot something here. We'll use the Santa hat because it was just Christmas. All right. Crunches, as an advice, if you want to, this isn't something that you have to do at all. This is just if you want to do it. Cause I did it a while ago and I guess it was kind of comfortable. But for your head, if you want to do something about it, if you want to just, if you want to, you can have like a towel or something, or like, a wash rack or whatever, and you can kind of aid in just holding your head up. So this is the position. You'll be here. It's straight behind the head. It's relaxed. You can put it behind your neck if you want, but that's kind of hangy. So I would say do it behind your temple, behind your head, right? Same position, and we're still just coming to crunch up. So if you like this better than having to hold your head, leave a comment and say this feels better. But that's really on you. I don't think it makes too much of a difference. I think it's a little more comfortable, but am I gonna change my whole workout and not do crunches just because I don't have a towel to put behind my head? No, it's still a crunch, alright? That's what I said. And for crunches, there's really no scale. If you can't do a crunch, that's okay. But most likely, you can. The only thing I can advise to you guys, and this is for any movement that we can do, but it's a little bit hard or tiring after a few reps. Just do less reps. So one thing I didn't mention in the last video, you guys, was reps and sets for the workouts. Do whatever's comfortable. If you do 2 sets of 10 for everything except for the glute bridge hold, and you do that for 10 seconds, that's fine. Whatever's comfortable. I want you guys to just do this. When you do these little mini workouts, right? I want you to go to where you feel a little bit of a burn. If you're someone that's conditioned and works out a good bit, I want you to do it to where you're about to fail, or you feel like you're gonna be 1, 2, or 3 reps from not being able to keep going. If you're someone that works out a lot, then I would say do that. If you're doing glute bridge and you're holding it for a minute, and all of a sudden you're starting to falter, hold it for a minute. But if you can do that, I would suggest do something else. Crunch, I won't get into ways that you can make these workouts harder, because there's more movements that will come in that you guys will see that'll be harder than these movements that will make you work harder, obviously. Yeah, but that's it, you guys. So if you do 1 set of 10 for the incline push-ups and that was hard, good, you did it. If you did 1 set of 10 of incline push-ups, 1 set of 10 of crunches, and 1 set of 10 seconds for glute bridges, and that's what you did for the day, and that's all you did for the week, at least you did it. Next week, try to do 2 sets, or next week, try to do an extra rep, or the next week, something. Just try to work a little bit harder. It doesn't really matter what you're doing for reps and sets if you're someone that doesn't work out. What matters is that you were actually moving and working out. That's what matters. But if you did mini workout 1 last week, do mini workout 1 sometime this week, and then do mini workout 2 on Friday, all right? Or the next week, whatever. This is a different video, so it's gonna be kind of hard for you to do mini workout 1 if you don't know how to do it. Anyway, we're on a tangent. The point is, move, you guys. Have a beautiful Friday. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, give me, if you can, like, subscribe, comment. Tell me what you guys want, what you guys did not like, what you guys did like. Real friends. How many of us? Real friends, hit me up. Let me know if this was terrible, or be like, tell me what I could do better, Please. I'd appreciate it. To all my homies out there who really care about me.